finish. He just has maybe 2 or 3 more slides, and he's going to explain another aspect of the magnetics that's being done down in Rome. So, here you go, Scott.
Okay. Real briefly, we have 2 colleagues, Leonardo Sagnotti and Fabio Florindo, who are doing the environmental magnetism off of the cores. And so these are pretty complicated data. We don't have them entirely figured out yet. But to try and help us in relation to the challenges we've had with radiocarbon, they are measuring the magnetic signal in each of the cores. And this is intensity and declination and inclination. So the strength of the signal, the compass bearing, and kind of the angle that it's pointing. Because the magnetic pole moves, it wanders on a regular basis. And so there's a model that has been fit for Europe based on many sites that are well dated and have good magnetic signals. And so we're trying to fit our own magnetic signal to this. And so you can see that we have a very nice fit here where there's an increase in the intensity. And so we know from other studies that this is about 900 AD. And so this is one of the ways we're using now to start to kind of confirm the timing of ours. And this is from the Lumbo 12. This is about 9 meters depth. And then there's the declination signal, which kind of has this slope to it and then a rise. And so we feel like we've got a reasonable fit here. We've also got a fit here, but we're a little uncertain because of the great amount of noise in the data. The main point is that we have multiple methods that we're using to try and strengthen the age model for this, and this magnetics is just one of them. And this is the collaboration with the National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology in Rome. So, just to sum up, we think that the deforestation and woodland regeneration are linked to both human and climatic impact. During warm, dry climate periods, we think the medieval warm period, there was agricultural expansion and deforestation. During cool, wet periods, we think we had agricultural collapse and woodland regeneration. This is a combination both in changes in the climate and probably changes in population and potentially the socioeconomic structure. What's interesting is that after the medieval period with extensive deforestation and grazing, burning, erosion, it did not result in any long-term forest degradation in this area. The forest came back very rapidly with a great amount of diversity. So all of the impacts we see here did not necessarily extensively degrade the forests. And now we have funding for the next 3 years to do all of the different kinds of work that we talked about. We'll be back here over the next 2 summers, continuing to do this work with all of our colleagues, and ideally being able to solve some of those riddles that we pointed out today. And to end, I would just like to thank a whole number of people who have been helpful for us, either in the lab or in the field, or helping get permissions and permits to do this work, because it's a very large project and not simple. And for our various funding sources, both from those groups in Rieti, from the university here, and from the National Science Foundation. And,